Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Today is episode number 251 on my journey to 1800 ELO. So, if you guys enjoy my content, go ahead, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Check out my merch link down below. You can also check out Fianchetto Club and use NetChess to get 10% off of really cool chess-inspired streetwear. I have a shirt and a sweatshirt from them, and it is great quality, and you should check it out. So, that's all I got for you. Let's get right into today's game. All right, so we're playing 15-10. We won last game with the black pieces, which was pretty sweet. And we're going to try and win again today. Playing a 1300. And they played d4, so we're going to play d5. Now we get a Slav defense, c6. Okay, I'm going to go for e6 immediately. So they bring the queen out. Never really seen that move. So I don't know what they're threatening. I'm not well, I didn't mean to do that. That was a mouse slip. But we'll continue. I didn't mean to play that. Alright, my opponent takes back with the queen. Fair enough. Think I'm just going to develop my knight to f6. I'm already kind of out of what I was planning to play. I definitely didn't mean to take there, so that was a mistake by me. Definitely not what I meant to do, but it's okay. All is good. Maybe a move like that to get the knight into the game. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I don't think anything is wrong with what we've done so far. So I can castle. I can also just develop my knight, which is probably not a bad idea. I'm going to develop the knight. Also, it helps because I can potentially recapture here. So I'll probably castle next move. All right. I'm going to castle. And now I'm feeling comfortable. I think I want to get this knight over to this square to attack the queen. Where does the queen go? Has to go back here. Which is kind of nice. So knight here. Queen has to back here. I guess it could go here as well. Oh no, it can't. My knight defends. So queen would have to back up. If I kick out the bishop could take. The bishop could also just back up. I'm going to just go ahead and try and win a tempo on the queen. I like this knight move. Makes the queen go back here, which he's moved the queen a few times in the opening. So now I was wondering if maybe a move like this works. If I push, say he just does nothing, and then I push again. If he takes, I mean, he's going to have to move the queen again. So maybe not the best plan. I think immediately we could just ask. So I guess one of the plans is to bring the queen here and get this battery going. I'm not 100% convinced by that, but maybe it's not a bad idea. Something else I could do is bring my knight in over here, or maybe even just bring this knight over there. If he takes, I could take, or I could take back with a pawn, or I could take back with the queen. Got a lot of ideas here. I'm going to ask the bishop what it wants to do. I think that's an important question. And from there, maybe we can make some more decisions. If he wants to trade for my knight, I think that's fine. Yeah, so we'll take back with the bishop. And that'll be that. Kind of a strange structure. I'm assuming my opponent's going to castle, and I think it's a pretty even position. I'm kind of upset that I mouse slipped take c4. Kind of sucks. So he's getting a lot of pieces over here, attacking my pieces. I could let him take and take back with the queen. I don't know if that's really going to work out for me very well. I could also bring my knight up here now. And if he does take, I could recapture with my knight. Could also still take with the queen. I could back my bishop up to e7. But I don't really like that. I'm going to give myself some options, I think, and play knight to d5. And if he takes, I might recapture with my knight. My knight is kind of cool here. But after he takes with the knight, he could just kick my knight out, which I kind of dislike. He could also do things like this. I just don't really want to allow that. So I like this. I can take back a few different ways. If I need to, I can still drop my bishop down. It might make more sense now because my knight actually defends this square. But also looking at, I would like to get these pawns pushing. I have a majority on the queen side right now. He's got the majority on the king side. So okay, he puts a rook on the file. Fair enough. I could offer like a queen trade. I don't know if I'd really want that to happen. He still hasn't castled, which is kind of crazy. So I think I'm going to drop this bishop back and maybe, I'm assuming he's probably going to castle within the next move or two. But I don't really want to trade my bishop for his knight. I like this bishop. If he was going to take this bishop, I might consider something like that. But he gave up his dark squared bishop. And I like my dark squared bishop, so. I don't think a move like that is a very good move, but I am looking at it. Okay, so he alleviates the fact that I could do something like that, which is fine. I don't really want to push this pawn now because it makes this a weak pawn. But I feel that he is a little bit better developed than I am in this position. So I'm wondering, should I maybe rotate my knight over here to put pressure on this light squared bishop? have the bishop pair. I could also go to try and trade off my knights. Basically, all my pawns are on light squares, so it feels pretty like comfortable as far as that. So if I push a5, a4, is that a good plan? Push a5. He can't immediately take or do anything. Like, what is my opponent planning on doing? He's got quite a few pieces over on this side of the board. I need to come up with a plan. If I bring my queen here, that doesn't do much for me. This is so what I see here is bringing my knight over to b4 to attack the bishop. If he wants to save the bishop, he's got this move or this move. Whoops. If he wants to let me have it, what could he do? He could defend the bishop a second time, like with another piece. I think maybe that. I don't know. Can't move the knight in here. And then my other idea is maybe like a5, a4. I'm going to go with the a5, a4 option. It's probably not ideal, but I want to see what he wants to do with this queen. I mean, he can't come here. Right now, he can't go here. I can get my bishop up here like this. To defend this pawn and maybe try and push like a, then this would be a backwards pawn, which is not really what I want. Probably would rather break with a move like this. But we shall see. This also gives my knight kind of an outpost right here to still do that plan if I want to like attack their light squared bishop. If I do this and he does that, I think I'm happy. I mean, I can even push the pawn in that position. The queen would need to probably go back. Whew. I am in a tough game. This guy is quite a bit higher rated than I am. And he is where I want to be. I do like where my knight is. Like, he can't really be, like, attacked necessarily easily. I guess he could play, like, a move like bishop there. But I don't think I'd be upset about that. Yeah, if he went bishop here... Still not sure what I would do. I mean, I could back my knight up, but my queen is getting a little overloaded in that position, and I would need kind of a game plan. So he stops my pawn from coming forward, and he also just allows my knight to have this more improved outpost, which I like. So I'm going to put my knight here, attacking the light squared bishop. I think I want to move my queen here, which kind of looks scary. Alright. He moves his light squared bishop over yonder. So if I move my light squared bishop here, I could be threatening to kick around the bishop again, which I kind of like. And it just helps me develop a piece again. So I'm going to go for it. So my next move will be this, I think. So I want to play b5, takes. So he's going for my light squared bishop. My light squared bishop kind of sucks. So I'm okay with that, I think. So if I do this, he takes, I take. I'm just going to go for it. I like b5. Kind of just not allowing this to be a thing. My knight is super strong here. He doesn't have a dark squared bishop, so he'd have to like trade off a knight to get my knight. So I mean, if his plan wasn't to take my light squared bishop, maybe it was to like do something like this. In that position, I can just take the light squared bishop, so I think I'm fine there. So yeah, if he does something like that, I can just take. Right now, if he does this, take with the queen, and he's still got this, you know, is an issue still in that position. I think we want to get a rook over to the file. That's probably a certainty. This knight is kind of annoying. And he's hanging right now. He's loose. So he does bring the so this pawn is defended by two pieces right now. So even if he takes this, I mean, I'm fine there still. I could try and save my light squared bishop and like rotate it this way right now, with ideas of getting a nice opening this way. My knight is feeling super strong right now. He's also helping defend this pawn. What is his plan with the bishop? Like, I guess he doesn't really have one. Oh, his knight is... I need to pay attention. His knight is also attacking this square. So, I can kick the knight out. That's a move. I can attack this knight and see where he wants to go. Really feels like it weakens squares in front of my king if I do that, though. So I can't move this bishop right now because he's attacking this. So I think what I need to do is bring my rook over to c8. Rook over to c8 helps defend this. Then I can't do my little mosey around, but... Queen here also helps defend that square. Yeah, I'm not worried if he takes my light squared bishop. I'm just gonna focus on trying to get my pieces a little more active if I can. Knight here is kind of an annoying move. If he does that, I might just take. If he goes knight back, I can take, or I can let I can take, or I can let him take, and my bishop is just here forever. It's probably the better move. Alright, so it looks like he wants to start making some things happen. I really want to ask him what he wants to do with these pieces, but ooh, I gave him that square. Oh my god. Why did I do that? So knight g6 is just a killer move right now. I should not have done that. That is a killer move. Hopefully he doesn't find it. I think he will. That's a pretty simple one to see. Sugar. Sugar, sugar, sugar. I don't even know what to play in that position. I don't want to give up my rook. He's threatening this. If I go rook here, yikes. And this is a weak pawn right now as well, so I guess I'll do this to help defend the pawn. That was a super mistake. I think I want to move my king over anyways. I can't go to h8 right now because of his stupid bishop, but or knight. Man, I always find some way to make a little small error, and it's just from a lack of calculation. Like, I'm just not calculating. So it looks like he might just trade off for my dark squared bishop. He does. I'm going to take with the queen. Getting my queen off of this. And probably king h8. Yeah, I mean, my boy is attacking, that is for sure. I'm going to move my king over to h8 so I don't have to worry about this anymore. And try and play e5. I mean, if he wants to take my light squared bishop, that's fine. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm winning anymore. This pawn is going to be weak. I should probably take this. So takes. I guess we're fine there because my queen defends. Oh boy. This is tough. Tough. I feel like we got a lot to look at in this game. Hopefully I'm not just missing something obvious. I mean, that doesn't do anything. Tough game. I think f6 was blatantly a big mistake by me, maybe even just a blunder. Like, and I also think that in the beginning when I accidentally took c4, that was it was a mistake because I didn't mean to do it. I was trying to draw arrows, and I guess I misclicked. So. This knight is pretty strong right here. Okay, so he's attacking my rook. He has got a lot of pieces over here attacking on the light squares. Attacking my rook. My first instinct was to play g6, obviously, but that just hangs a pawn, so can't do that. My second instinct is to play like rook over to d8, just to get on a dark square and not worry about it. Then he has moves like this, and it's annoying. That's for sure. So my third alternative is f8, rook f8. But then this bishop just lives in my position, and I'm not a fan. So I'm wondering if playing like rook to g8 is such a big deal. He takes, I take, he takes, I take. It'd be fine. I'm just going to do it to try and put some pressure, because I just want to play g6 now. It allows me also to maybe drop my bishop down to e8, which maybe is better. The reason I didn't play rook d8 was simply just this move. So he's back pressuring this. I think I want to get my bishop now a little more active. I'm not a fan of what has become of him. I'm also looking at a move like dropping my knight back. But right now, I'm going to focus on maybe rerouting my bishop if I can. This pawn is becoming really weak, so maybe before I fully commit to driving him over there, I drop this, and if he does want to take, it'll behoove me because I have c takes d5. Okay, so he does win a pawn. So that was a blunder by me, I guess. So it seems. So right now, this is defended twice. This move right now just feels pretty strong because it pins the piece. What does he play? If he plays this, takes. I'm going to follow my intuition and try and pin the knight to the queen. Maybe we can win a piece here. I'm not sure. My bishop is starting to get a little more powerful, so that's good news. If he takes this, I can simply take. If he takes like this. Alright, so I thought about this. If I take, he takes, I take, he takes, I still get it. So he's got a rook there actually, but that doesn't defend the knight. So if he takes here, I can take. Hopefully I calculated this right. If he takes with the rook, he just loses the piece. If he takes with the bishop, I take with my knight. If he takes with the rook, he loses. Yeah, he gets his rook pinned. Still not very clear for me, but this looks like a decent find. If he takes my rook, takes. Okay. So he finds a way out, which I didn't calculate this one. So taking with the pawn, not the best option for me. If I take his rook, he recaptures. He doesn't have this right now because of my knight. What we really need to do is somehow kick this knight out of his home. I'm going to take his rook and then put my rook on d8. This pawn is hanging. I noticed that. If he takes that, maybe I just push. I'm not very comfortable here. Maybe ideas of something like this. I don't know. I mean, this is wild. This is undefended currently. So maybe that just... he takes like that. This is defended. 1, 2, 3 times. It is attacked 1, 2 times. His knight can come into here now, which is kind of annoying. If he comes here, I take... He takes... It's just a strong pawn, boy. I don't know. I'm gonna play bishop e8. This is hard for me right now. It's very tough. Yeah, I would have liked to maybe get my knight in somehow like this or something, but whew, I'm losing my composure. The position is it feels pretty hard for me. But what do I know? This is attacked twice, defended twice still, so he can't take it, but he could add an attacker. Actually, he can't do that, so if he does this, I think I would take for sure. If he does this right now, takes, I can move the rook over, and I think we'll be all right. It is scary. I don't know. Maybe I won't be all right. I'm not sure. So my opponent's under a minute. We're both pretty equal time. This has been a relatively equal game. I think my opponent has a better position overall. His pawn structure is nice and solid still. My queen is just not very active, so it would be really cool if I could somehow get my queen more active, but I'm kind of having a hard way in. It's hard to find a way into his position. All right. That looks like he wants to get all up in my grill. I'm not 100% cool with all that, my friend. I'm wondering if this is a decent move. So if I move here, he goes here, I take, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. Down a knight. I lose my knight. Boom, boom, boom. I take. So I'm down. Alright, that doesn't work. But what does? I don't know. This is what I'm going to play right now, which is really sad because it pins my my pawn to my queen. But if he moves the knight, I can take the pawn. I'm just trying to make it complicated and try and keep defending all my pieces. So he's attacking my queen. I'm just going to take. He gets in there like swimwear. This is a decent move for me, I think. I also like the idea of getting my other bishop involved. Let's just get the knight in, try and win the pawn. He might not allow it. He's got a lot going on here, which is kind of annoying, but boom. I don't have much going on here. I like this because it still stops this, stops is a strong word. Doesn't stop anything, but I'm going to take with check. I am going to slide my rook over. This is a dangerous pawn. I need to take this pawn. I'm sure he sees it. I really think he should push. Opponent's got 6 seconds. I am going to just eat. He defends. Pretty strong move. Push the pawn. I missed that, so I blundered. I'm sure he's gonna take, and then we're in a relatively equal game. Not really. He's just better. He's up 2 pawns. I don't know what I'm talking about. My king is stuck on the back rank as well, so I'm just gonna start running my king. Lord have mercy on my soul. He's allowing me to come up and defend, so I guess I will. He is now allowing his pawn to come through, which is fair. If I do this, he pushes. I guess he just wins the pawn. I mean, this is not good for me. Resignable, actually, but we're trying. I didn't want the game to go that way. I hung. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that either. That was a mouse slip. Dude, screw these, like, mouse slipping is super annoying. I've done it twice this game now. That was a mouse slip. What the fuck, man? Why the hell? It's so annoying. I mean, this is just completely lost. I don't have anything. Lord, please lose on time. So he's just gonna win that pawn, which is fair, I guess. I mean, this is just not fun for me. All right, GG's. Yeah, that was tough, and that was not fun. That was not as fun as I was hoping. My opponent played pretty well, basically a perfect game. Um, I had a blunder, so we can look at that, and I had a few mistakes. So taking is actually the best move, so my mouse slip was nice. But that was not what I wanted to play. I was probably going to just develop. But it allows us to do this, which I missed. But I don't know. We played a pretty decent game. Like, it's just, it's so boring. It's such a boring position. It's like, let's fight for one pawn all game and just play this super positional, grindy game that is, it's no fun. So apparently this was better, just absolving the fact that when I do move this pawn, I own this square. So that would have been a sweet find, because I definitely fell for it and got my teeth kicked in here. I'm just not better. The best move here. So we found an alright idea, but it wasn't the right idea. So taking here was better. Attacking the queen, and if he can't backstep, he can't. If he goes here, what happens? Yeah, I guess nothing. So I thought it was a decent find for us. Yeah, so that's the computer line. We got into it like this. I took here, which I mean, I guess. I guess it's more forcing to do it like this. This was a blunder. Yeah, it just blunders a pawn. So I had a really rough game for most of the game, actually. I mean, it just felt like he was a little bit better and I was just a little bit worse the whole game. We both were pretty low on time here, so we weren't. Yeah, I mean, the best move here was by far to just attack his pawn, and you're getting one of these pawns, so just the wrong idea for a lot of the game. This was a missed opportunity. The best move for me in this position was to actually push, which is crazy because that loses a pawn two different ways. But I'm completely lost here, so it's not really a too much of a thing. This was another mouse slip. I didn't mean to do that, but I mean, there's no hope. It's +4 for white in this position. So I played it out a little bit because I don't think that I should be resigning too many positions. But we played like a 1450. My opponent played like a 1650. Yeah, and we're down to 1231, which is whatever. The guy outplayed us, so it's not too bad. I learn a lot from games like this because they're just positional and grindy, and all it takes is like one or two moves, and you're just kind of worse for a lot of the game. And that's kind of where I found myself today. Whoever made the first mistake, as long as it got capitalized on, it kind of stayed in their favor. They had mistakes of their own and stuff, but there wasn't anything that really was able for me to turn the tides as far as just make the game more in my favor. Like here, this was a huge mistake, allowing his knight to be able to come into here. Just an easy preventative measure would have been, and also getting my bishop out of the scope of the knight would have been just bishop to e8, protecting that square. And then I could think about doing something like that. But to have 7.5 minutes on the clock and make that move, I got some stuff to work on. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed playing today. It was a fun game, even though I said it wasn't. I'm lying. It is fun. I enjoy playing chess every time I play chess. It's just it's funner when you win, right? It's always funner when you win. So, well, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. See you then.